Good morning and welcome to KidNuz. I'm Kim. Today is Wednesday, June 22nd, 2022. And we begin with reopening day for one of the most popular national parks in the United States. Yellowstone will welcome back a limited number of people this morning for the first time since last week's catastrophic floods washed out roads, destroyed homes, and forced the evacuation of more than 10,000 people. For now, visitors will only be allowed to enter the park's South Loop area. The North Loop will stay closed for another few weeks. And in an effort to avoid overcrowding, Yellowstone will use an odd-even license plate system. People whose cars end with an odd number will get in on odd days of the month. Those with an even last number can enter on even days of the month. A park spokesman says more of the park will reopen as repairs are made, but added it could take years to fully recover from the damage. We all know lemonade stands can be a sweet moneymaker on hot days, but one young entrepreneur who added some buzz to her squeeze also added big bucks to her bank account. 17-year-old Michaela Ulmer of Texas has been in the lemonade business for more than a decade, back when she took an old recipe from her grandmother's cookbook and set up shop outside her home. But after being stung by 2 bees in less than a week, she needed to regroup. And it was while researching those pesky stingers that genius struck. Michaela learned how important bees are to the health of our food supply and ecosystem and decided to add honey to all her batches. With that, Michaela's Me and the Bees lemonade was born and bottled and soon sold to Whole Foods for $11 million. A portion of every sale still goes to local and international organizations trying to save honeybees from going extinct. The buzz may be working for Michaela, not so much for Lightyear. The latest film from Disney's Pixar didn't do very well in its opening weekend. Lightyear fell short of expectations for ticket sales and came in behind Jurassic World Dominion, which was already in its second weekend. Hollywood insiders aren't sure why it didn't do better, but many point to confusion. Disney says Lightyear isn't a Toy Story movie because it's about the man behind the toy rather than the toy itself. The company also faced criticism for giving the voice of Buzz to Marvel superhero Chris Evans instead of longtime Buzz actor Tim Allen. A peacemaker indeed. A Russian journalist intent on helping Ukrainian refugees just auctioned off his Nobel Peace Prize for a mind-blowing amount. Dmitry Muratov was awarded the high honor last October for trying to preserve free speech in Russia. Even though the 23-karat gold in the Nobel medals is worth about $10,000, Mr. Muratov had heard they could fetch a couple million. He was wrong in the best possible way. Mr. Muratov's medal blew the doors off the previous record high of $4.76 million by selling for a staggering $103.5 million. He'll be donating all the money to UNICEF, which will help young refugees rebuild their futures. And he says he hopes he starts a flash mob of people auctioning their valuable possessions to help those most impacted by the war. A stray dog in the country of Georgia, which used to be part of Russia, is going viral for his sense of duty. A few years ago, Kupata declared himself the crossing guard for a local elementary school, and he's shown up for work every day since. He barks at cars to get them to stop, then keeps patrolling the crosswalk until everyone has made it to the other side safely. A few people in the neighborhood take turns caring for him. In a video, one of his caregivers said they named him Kupata after the Georgian word for sausage. Kupata's support team also runs an Instagram account for him, hoping his story shows people that stray dogs are kind, they are friendly, and they need help and love like any other dog. In other KidNuz notes, a familiar name to football fans is calling it a day. Rob Gronkowski, who played with Tom Brady in New England, retired, then unretired to join Mr. Brady in Tampa Bay, is hanging up his cleats again. Mr. Gronkowski posted yesterday, "I'm walking away from football again with my head held high, knowing I gave it everything I had, good or bad, every time I stepped out on the field." A big thank you today to more of our monthly donors. We could not do it without you. Shout outs for Christopher Ford, Amy Gaber, Tiffany Harris, Diana Hawken, and Nicholas Head. Now, today's KidNuz quiz. A Texas teen added what to her homemade lemonade to help bees? Honey. What movie isn't doing as well at the box office as predicted? Lightyear. Why did a Russian journalist auction off his Nobel Prize medal? To help Ukrainian refugees. What national park partially reopens today after historic flooding? Yellowstone. In today's KidNuz Kicker, a little more info about Yellowstone. It's the world's first national park, established by President Ulysses S. Grant on March 1, 1872. It's big and covers more than 3,000 square miles, which is more than Rhode Island and Delaware combined. But it's far from the biggest national park in the world. That honor goes to Northeast Greenland National Park in Greenland, which according to Condé Nast magazine is 77 times the size. Yellowstone's biggest draw is probably its 300 active geysers. The most famous is Old Faithful, which erupts on average every 92 minutes. Thanks for listening, everyone. Please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and we'll see you back here for more KidNuz tomorrow morning.